My name is Serena, and I'm giving you this message from the United Nations Climate Change COP26 conference in Glasgow. I'm 23 years old and I'm from Chingford. I went to Larkswood Primary School and then went to Leighton's sixth form for college. And I've just started a graduate scheme at SSE, which is a UK energy company. I've been engaging with the United Nations for 5 years since I was 18 years old. And my first climate engagement was being on the UK Youth Climate Coalition COP delegation to COP22 in Marrakesh. I still volunteer with the UK Youth Climate Coalition today, and also was the UK Youth Delegate to the pre-COP26 Youth Summit in Milan, and have just organised the 16th UN Climate Change Conference of Youth, which is the official COP26 Youth Summit. I also work closely with Youngo, which is the formal youth constituency to UN climate change. And I represent youth on a UN Climate Change Technology Task Force and work on many other climate projects in my spare time too. So the biggest and best thing that I think Waltham Forest can do to tackle the global climate crisis is enabling and empowering every single member of civil society and local government associated with this borough to take climate action. And I don't mean this as a vague ambition, but I mean ensure that quite literally every single person is taking action in some way. Maybe it even becomes local legislation, but implementation of climate action can be very nicely integrated into existing initiatives. For example, by enhancing climate content taught in schools, or by making it mandatory for all school and college students to participate in some kind of environmental extracurricular activity. For adults, for example, the borough could provide funding to retrofit houses to make them more sustainable, or subsidise implementation of clean energy technologies, for example electric vehicle charging infrastructure or solar panels, etc., to propagate the energy transition. Every single person who works or studies within Waltham Forest could be granted a morning or an afternoon off every few months to volunteer with a community environmental protection group, or receive a climate education seminar, or even as time dedicated to spending time in our nature. I mean, have you seen this incredible natural environment that we have around us in Waltham Forest? So where I live in Chingford, I'm very lucky to be only a few minutes walk from the forest entrance. And to me, honestly, never gets old. And connecting with the natural environment is so key to behavioural change, because if someone can really experience the wonder and really appreciate what our planet provides us with, and it can really connect deep down into their heart and soul, then naturally they will want to take action to prevent it and protect it from being destroyed. Also tied into this is specifically the empowerment of all Waltham Forest young people to not only take action, but also specifically enabling us to have a seat at the table in local decision-making processes. So a multi-stakeholder collaborative approach is absolutely vital in order to account for all voices in mitigating and adapting to the climate crisis. And youth are, in my opinion, the most key stakeholder, since we will be inheriting the planet, including its public and private sectors. Young people are constantly living in fear and anxiety, worried if we will ever get to see a future. We need to ensure that intergenerational equity is implemented in any decision-making process that has an impact on our futures, which is actually kind of pretty much all of them. So as an example of my advocacy at UN climate change conferences, so through Youngo, the formal youth constituency to UN climate change, we have meetings with negotiators and people in power every single day, such as the UK, we had the EU yesterday, I have Saudi Arabia tomorrow, and we do these so often, and dialogue becomes open, we make our presence known, and we make it clear to them that we are watching and we are waiting for more ambitious climate action. In Milan at the pre-COP26 Youth Summit, where I was the UK delegate, and also now for the COP26 Youth Summit, the one that I was just organising, both of these youth conferences culminated in youth policy statements, and these were enormous documents covering all of the different climate thematics, accounting for several thousand youth voices from across the globe and then adopted by consensus. And these documents state our demands, and it's crucial for these demands to be listened to and implemented. We're not asking, but we are demanding. Another reason why it's so important to include our perspectives, aside from it being our futures at stake, is that climate change impacts are considerably uncertain and can be quite unpredictable. But young people are innovators by nature and can bring so many fresh ideas, new energies, and most importantly, innovative, novel solutions that perhaps hadn't been previously thought of. So climate activism is tough and requires a lot of mental resilience, but as long as we give it our absolute everything we have in this fight, and even if just one person can empower, educate, enable, or inspire just one other person to take action, then this is still helping to move towards solutions. So then imagine if the entire borough can enable itself to take climate action. Moving forward as one unit, we could become a force so strong that we become unstoppable. And then imagine how much this could inspire the other boroughs in London, and then the country. There's so much potential here. What's stopping us?